Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Inspire. So glad you're here. We've got a great service lined up for you as always. What a great way to start the week with an inspirational message of love from Inspire.
Good morning, all. How are you? Good. Let me see you smile. Oh, I'm really grateful to be with each of you this morning. We're moving into this month of November, which is our what we call a gratitude month, and really every day is a gratitude day. Every month is a gratitude month, but it's a time where our sense of it is heightened. You know, it's a time that we talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. We give thanks. Like I said, we have a magnified sense of that. And it's really wonderful to be able to just take some time to contemplate what that is for you in your life. How does it feel? Are you in a practice of gratitude? Do you need to perhaps up level your practice of gratitude? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. And I'm just so grateful. I always begin by saying, I thank life for waking me up another day and allowing me to be here. And I hope each of you know that what a gift you are, what a gift life is, to just be able to come together in this community together, this beautiful, inspired community, woohoo, woohoo, for all of us, LGBTQI and everybody, that we just stand open and receptive to everyone. We stand open and available, shining our own light and allowing ourselves to be more and not less than we were, but to magnify, to improve upon, to increase, to expand our awareness, our perceptions, our practice, everything that we're here to do today. And so when Amina gave me the theme, and I wanted to, by the way, first thank Garrick, thank Reverend Amina, thank Reverend Tom, thank Asila, Amina's sister, who's filling in for, and everybody that puts a service together. Nobody does it by themselves. We do it alone, and we just keep coming back over and over again, to say yes to life as us. And so when she gave me the theme of the month, your gift is your reward, I loved it. I've been sitting with that. But what I want to speak to today specifically, in line with your gift being your reward, okay, is your best comes from your yes, right? That yes within you, that fire within you, that light within you, that if you're going to move out into the world and do something that is unique to you, your own gift, you want to offer that to the world, that's going to come so much easier and better for you when you have a fire burning inside of you, when you have that desire inside of your heart to give your absolute best, to be excellent, right? So it's, what does that come from? That comes from the yes within you, which is also your light, right? It is the light within you. It is that spiritual illumination that each one of us walk in, that wattage. And so I want to make a few points today about this, and I want to, define the terms first. So we think about a gift, right? What is a gift? A gift is something that you receive, that you have, that you've not done anything for. You just come with it. You're preloaded with it, right? Why do we know that? Because in our teaching, we know that we are created in the image and after the likeness of God. We can also call God spirit. We can call it life. We can call it love. We can call it the divine, but we are created in that image and after that likeness. And because we have inherent power within us. We have inherent light within us. We have capacities to continue to expand and to grow. So we come with these gifts that are unique to each one of us, you see. And then what is the reward for that? The reward is something that you receive as a result of your gift, okay? And each one of us have gifts that are unique to us. And our charge, our goal, if you will, our mandate is to activate those gifts and then to allow them out into a greater expression in our lives. And so we do this through what? Through our spiritual practices, through, first of all, surrendering to it. You've got to surrender to it. We of ourselves do nothing. There's something within us moving us and animating us and moving us forward to be able to give these gifts, to be able to reap these rewards. And so we want to be in touch with that, and we want to continue to be in surrender to it, so that these gifts, and then here's the wonderful thing, your gifts are infinite. They are, there's no limit on them. So if there's something that's in your heart that's moving through you, or something, even an idea that you catch, sit with that. Sit with that in terms of your own gifts, your own talents, your own capacities, and what wants to happen. And so I want to make 3 points this morning, 3 main points, which is this. Your light, that light in you, that illumination in you, okay, that, what does it do? It reveals power. Your light reveals power. You all know that when you're in your element, when you feel that pep in your step and you go places and your light is shining and you know it, your wattage is up, what does that reveal? It reveals power, because you become a magnetic force and you draw and attract to you the thing you're emitting. Likewise, that's why when we see people kind of walking like glum and dumb and chin to the ground, we're like, uh-oh, they're having a challenging day, right? So when you're in that light, it reveals power, spiritual power, okay? You can't get light. You can't get spiritual light from earthly power. I just want to say that, right? Earthly power is what it is. We know this. That power will always have to bend its knees, so to speak, to the spiritual power. That is why people who have lived on this planet throughout human history, that have made a difference, that have shined and radiated, that have left an imprint, left a blueprint, left some evidence for us to follow, to lead to, those people have accessed and tapped into the light within them that has revealed the power of God, the power of life, the power of yes, the power of possibility in, through, and as their life. And that is why when you walk in that, governments have fallen, systems have fallen, things have faded and been transformed and transmuted because of that power. So when you have that light in you, you're walking in the power of God. You have a coat on you. You got some armor on you. You have something that you can walk in and move in, that is always taking care of everything. And so it's really important to just access, to be able to, again, give over and surrender to that. So as you move through the world, what happens oftentimes? So we know that we've got this light, that the more we activate it and allow it out into expression, we are revealing spiritual power. But what happens in our human living? We call it, many of us have heard this in truth, the dust and grit of the journey. We've all picked up some dust and grit in our journey, have we not? Yes. So what happens? People are walking around, kind of sleepwalking, woe is me, it's so rough, and all of this stuff. But what we have to do sometimes is get some spiritual pledge and a dust, okay, tools. I'm talking about tools here. And you got to put a little, we do that through our spiritual practices. And nobody's exempt from it, by the way. Can't get the goodies if you don't do the work, right? The work play. So we have to dust ourselves off. We got to polish the lamp within us. We got to get the cobwebs out of there of false thinking, of thinking that stuff is outside of you, happening to you instead of from you or for you. So we realign our awareness. We step back. We're like, okay, let me get still. Let me breathe. Let me relax. Let me settle down. What is this that I'm feeling? What is this that is trying to snag my attention and my awareness, to dim my light? You see, and once we come into that alignment, we're back, because we have put on that spiritual pledge. We have wiped it off. And there you go. We keep on moving. We keep on moving forward. We keep on saying yes, no matter what. And so it's important to know that this light, its wattage continues to get brighter and brighter and brighter, revealing the power and the glory of life that is living itself as you. And then the second point, your power, that power in you reveals authenticity. You are an authentic, original idea in the mind of God. Many of us has heard this over and over again. You're unique. You are unrepeatable. No one else has the same even print that you do, just like a snowflake. You are so unique, and you get to be your authentic self. And we know in our life and in our living, when we're tapped in, we can discern spiritually right away when we are in the presence or around people who are not living authentically. We know that. There's kind of a, what we'd say, a phoniness, a plasticness, a fake, whatever we want to call it. And we want to avoid that in ourselves. We don't want to judge them. We don't have to put other people down. Don't even waste your time on that. But always take it back to yourself. Where am I right now? Am I living authentically? Am I being my true and real self? And sometimes, again, we have stuff that's happened to us in the past, you know, an experience that we've had happen. Somebody has said something to us that has hurt our feelings or whatever it is. And then we have that tendency to kind of go back into the thing, into a hole. But we want to remember that this power is moving through us, that this light is moving through us, and that there's authenticity in us that's coming from our spiritual power. And then we get to be ourselves unabashedly, by the way. We don't have to apologize to anybody because we're not here to impress anybody. We're just here to be ourselves. We're here to live our authentic life and just do what we came here to do. And if we keep our eyes single on that, what happens, huh? Our body remains full of light. So we just want to make sure that we are always living authentically. And if we find ourselves not living authentically, or we need to brush off a few things, we get out the old dust rag and the ball and we get going on it. And we say, you know, use me. We say that, use me. Let me be better today. Let me be more real today than I've ever been. Let me give more than I've ever given before. But we have to be willing to do that work on ourselves, to do that over and over and over again. Because again, no one is exempt. There's no special people, by the way. Every single person on the face of this earth is born with innate gifts, talents, and capacities. And we know that. So we're not any more special or better than anybody else. We're just unique. You see, I cannot be you. Candice can't be you. You cannot be Candice, but you can be you. You know, and when you shine, I feel it. When I'm around people, and you know what I'm talking about, we get that from one another. When we're around, it's like, yeah, I want to be around her. I want to be around him. I want to be around they. I want to be around that, because something's going on here that's good, that's uplifting for me, you see. And we know that because we're in a teaching that says there's one life, there's one power, there's one presence, and whatever we call the spirit, whatever we call it, there's one of it, okay? And it is everywhere. And so we must be in it, and we must be that thing. It must be in us. That is our real nature and being. This is just a suit we're wearing for a time here. But there's something else in us that's powerful, that goes beyond the flesh, that doesn't diminish, doesn't die, we transform, but we are who we are forever. And that is good news. So when you're living authentically, you know, you are constantly, as a practice, being aware of where your thoughts are. Because remember, now, you know, I tell everybody I'm the Bible loving lesbian, right? But when we think of, I love scripture, because when you think about Romans 12:2, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed what? By the renewing of your mind. We got to renew every day. That's what we get to do. First, we've renewed our spirit and our heart and our mind. We keep that, our windows of perception, clean and clear. And when they get skewed, again, we take out our pledge, our spiritual Windex. We use our tools in our toolbox to keep ourselves going so that our vision is pristine. Okay. So authenticity allows us to walk through the world being unafraid of anything outside of us. Isn't that wonderful? We all find moments and times in our lives where we're concerned with certain things. And that is always, there's stuff that's going to go on in our living, what we say in the human condition, and each one of our lives. But as we continue to give over, as we continue to remember, oh, I'm here to be authentic. I'm here to show my power. I'm here to show, and by the way, all of that goes to who gets the credit for this, not me and not you. That is what is living in you and living as you. We always give credit to the Spirit, to the one in which each of us live and move and have our being in. And so we get to do that over and over again through our practices. And then your authenticity. What does that reveal? It reveals truth. Truth. I mean truth with the big T. When you are authentic, and I'm not talking about a dogma or theology, that's not what I'm speaking about. When you live an authentic life and you're who you are, and you're unashamed and unabashed and enjoy, when you're walking in that, you are absolutely being a beneficial presence on this planet, and you're revealing the truth about what is eternal. Love is eternal. Peace is inherent in us, eternal. Like the verities of the Spirit, the qualities of God, right? That's what we get to show up and reveal through this. And so that's truth, because we know that truth, what is it? It's principle. We say God is principle, life is principle. It's the principle. You see, in other words, what does it say? It's unchanging, yesterday, today, and forever, right? And you think about this power, what you are revealing, the truth. And what is that truth? That truth is that you are created out of the divine. You have special sauce inside of you. You got some magic dust to give, to shine, to share, and to radiate. Not from an egoic space, but from a place of humility and awe. A humility and awe. We wake up in the morning, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for another opportunity to be who I am. And some days we don't know what we're going to do that day, perhaps, but we know there's something in us. So even when things feel heavy or muddled, or the path isn't clear yet, that's okay. Don't worry about that, because the light that you are, that power that you have, that authenticity that you reveal, that truth that you live, is going to continue to go before you and make your way. You don't do it, it's doing it through and as you, by your willingness to surrender to it, to allow it, to let it. But oh boy, we can get in the way, can't we? This is why it's so important to have that spiritual toolkit ready all the time. You see, sometimes, and I have these images in my mind, and they work for me, and whatever your tools are your tools, but sometimes we need to have some pledge and some Windex. Sometimes we need a little bit of household oil, so to speak, like where things seem constricted and you're walking around tight, so you have to do a little squirt here, just a little bit of so how do you do that? You do that through fellowship, like we're doing today. You see, you do it in spiritual community. You do it with a friend that you pray with. You call somebody, you reach out, you do something to get yourself out of that and to get yourself moving and fluid again. Do something for someone else. Provide yourself as a service. I can help you do that, even if it's a small thing. Even if it's a small thing, like you open the door for somebody at the grocery store. Can I help you? Can I carry that? whatever these things do, all of these things are important, by the way, because what it does is it keeps us in that flow. And then we feel we're centered, we're living in congruency with what is in us. There's nothing more challenging than to go through your life and just to be in conflict all of the time. You see, we want to avoid that. We're going to have some of that in our lifetime, because all of those things are there to teach us, to allow us to get better, to tell us there's something more out there if we let it. We've got to be conscious of it, though. We've got to be aware of it, though, you see. And that's why our consciousness is important. And it's why we use the tools that we use, so that we can come back again and we can get ourselves moving again and get ourselves in the flow. So I always tell people, don't concern yourself whenever you feel like you're out of sorts. Don't let that slow you down or constrict you. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving, you see. And ask Spirit, what do I need to know today? What do I need to learn today? What am I here to give today? To shine, to radiate today? Use me sincerely, and God will use you. In fact, one of my first teachers said, Candice, God will use anybody if you just show up. Meaning, if there's just an opening there, there's an opening, and we get that opening, we get that opening, and we get that opening, and we keep allowing it to open. And what happens? And what happens? There's more light. There's more light. And I often say with the heart symbol, there's just more light emanating from you. So it's really important to be willing to continue to do this work, because you are revealing something so unique and amazing as you. And you know, I've been thinking a lot about this too. You know, in our thinking, Proverbs 23:7 says, as a person thinks, as a person thinketh, so is he, so is she. As a person thinks, and that's what you get in your life. And we know that because there's a correspondence that's happening. We know that whatever we think about and dwell upon, and I don't just mean thinking intellectually, I'm talking about thinking and then feeling, and here in the pit of your stomach, and that thing going on over and over again. So it is going to outpicture in our life. This is why we do our work, so that we keep, like, again, we keep our windows of perception clear and clean, so that we can keep on moving. Oh, we have so much inner splendor, so much. And you know, I've been thinking about this lately a lot with everything that's going on in the world. You know, we had the fires in Hawaii. We got wars going on all over the place, particularly with Israel and Hamas and Ukraine and Russia. And we have division and strife in the world, and we see it. We've got that going on, even strife and division here in our own country. We're watching certain misguided people attempting to change laws and make things more restrictive and more onerous and all of this stuff. But guess what, you guys, I got to tell you something. You're still here to be joy babies, and you're still here to shine and radiate your light, because guess what? That stuff, put a name on it at a different time in history, been going on, because people are not accessing the light, not doing the work. So don't worry about the big picture. Worry about, or don't even worry, but concern over, do your work, do your practice, live your life, and let your light shine. Because when one wakes up, right? What does it say? As I am lifted up, I draw others unto me. As you wake up and you get clearer and cleaner in your life and what you want to manifest, what you want to see happen, you get clear about that, and then let the Spirit do it. You remain with that peace, that inner harmony, that congruency inside yourself. You remain. And we need that right now. We need each of us to be better than we were yesterday. We need each of us, especially at this time where people are pulled and snagged by all of the stuff that's going on. I get snagged by it. It's quick, but it'll, oh, they're doing that over here. And whenever I'm reminded, when I see stuff that's they're trying to take away laws or rights for LGBT, and I'm just like, not me. I'm still going to go and smile and do my thing no matter what. You see, right? So we don't want to go. We don't want to be like this. We want to be like that, and we get to continue to do that in our practice. So your gift is your reward. Your gift is your reward. You see, your best comes from your yes. And all you need do is to give it permission. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? We're not bound by anything that we even thought yesterday. We're not bound by our past. We are not bound when we were asleep, walking and doing whatever. And we're not bound by that. We are an infinite being. There's a well in us that will never run dry. Okay. We have everything we need within us. We just have to let it out. We just have to be willing to be willing to be willing to be willing. And that is what I find exciting. That is something that it keeps me going. People in life keep me going. There's evidence everywhere around you. Every day you can access something that will activate your own joy, your own peace, to remind you that you're already whole, your wholeness, your prosperity, right? Okay, your health. And I don't just mean health in your body temple, but include your body temple, but your health, mental health, your emotional health, your psychological health, your spiritual health. We have stuff that we get to activate that through that every single day. And that is what I feel is the good news with us. And so when we're in this month of gratitude, if you need to up level it, just be willing. Find some things that work. How's your gratitude list coming, huh? How's your journaling coming? Your journaling is so important and so good because we can write out all of the nonsense, and we can also reveal what is moving through us, what wants to come out into greater expression, you see. So it's very, very important. And how's your gratitude, that practice that you have? Yeah, again, as I said earlier, it's heightened during the month of November. We're coming into this season of light, as we say, where we have, Thanksgiving coming up. Then we're going to have Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa. So there's a kind of a shift of energy at this time during the year. But these are things that we want to take with us into our everyday living, day in and day out, day in and day out. So I just want to remind everybody of that. And again, when I think about your gift being your reward, we could also say your gift is the reward. We can also say, your gift is the reward that you are offering, to other people, right? Because when you give that thing and you're doing it freely, you're doing it for yourself, for your own inner ethic, because you're living as a being in integrity with your soul. When you're doing that, people are blessed by it. And what a reward that is. And you all know what I'm talking about. When you do something to lift another soul, you are lifted. Is that not so? That's right. So this is what we get to do. This is who we are. It's what we get to be each and every day. I was sharing earlier, I just recently returned from Kentucky. I was there for 3 weeks with my wife. And many of you know that we are still living apart. And it has not been fun, but we're making lemonade out of the lemon. It's really not a lemon, but it's a little bit challenging from time to time. We miss one another, of course we do. We're very close. Roanne, in addition to being my wife, my lover, she's my best friend, and I trust her implicitly. And recently, and I was sharing with Garrick earlier, she received this position and it was a great offer and she accepted it. She loves what she does. My wife is a brilliant artist. She's an engineer, but she's also an artist. I mean, you should see our house in Kentucky. It's just beautiful, laid out with all manner of beautiful artwork. She sculpts, she paints, she draws, she does all this stuff. So I just want to say that too, because people know her in a different way in the work world. She's an engineer and she designs products in the medical field. Well, the company that she's worked at, she's had a few challenges here and there. People have challenged her from time to time. But here's the thing about Ruanne, and I deeply respect this in her, independent of my relationship. Completely, just, we have multi relationships within one, by the way, and we are multi-talented and multifaceted. This company just did a worldwide online feature article about her. It was amazing. And I was so impressed and amazed. And it was just great to be there in this vibration of this accolade that she received. Now, the reason I'm sharing that with you is because when we're talking about your gift is your reward, you have to know that you have some gifts. She knows she has some gifts. As a matter of fact, when I first met her 27 years ago, one of the first things she said to me, which was kind of overwhelming, I was stunned by it and also melted my heart, when she said, "Candice, I know that it's all on loan from God." I'm still moved by that to this very day, because that was one of the first things she told me about her talent when I was looking at all of her stuff, and I was so kind of impressed. I was deeply impressed. But she knows. And so we all know that we have some gifts inside of us. Now, if you don't know what they are yet, don't worry about it. The Spirit is going to take care of that. As you continue to clean yourself and clean the spiritual glasses off, it's going to inform you, you see. And then whatever that gift is, as in her case, you give it and you shine it and you radiate it anyway. You do it for yourself because you are living an excellent life, because you're walking in integrity with yourself. You understand what I'm saying today, this morning? This is what we get to do. We're doing this for us first and foremost, not from our ego, but from the power that is in us, that we know that it has loaned itself. We are here to be that thing. Okay. I mean, I say on loan only in the human sense, because we came preloaded with it. We are created in that image and after that likeness. So when we just give over and surrender to it, amazing things can happen. And so your best is yet to come. That's the good news. Your gift is your reward. Be willing to give it. Don't worry about the details, right? Like the how. Let the Spirit take care of that. The how will come in time. You have to know the what. Once you know the what, then you move in that direction. The what gets you clear. The how part is where people sometimes get stumped. Don't worry about that. God will take care of it. Intelligence will take care of it, right? And is it not written? What is the Spirit? What is God? All knowing, all wise, all powerful, all loving. That's what it is. And that's who you are. So each one of you this morning, I hope, my prayer for you is that as you move out in this week, that you remember just to keep your dust cloth ready and your spiritual pledge ready. Keep it ready. Just go do your thing. If you get caught, if you get snagged, take a breath, get still, keep on moving, keep on stepping. That is my message for you this morning. I love you all. Peace and blessings. Amen.